Hi guys! Welcome in my story corner. We read all kinds of stories here. Some are true stories, some fiction, and some true stories that we sometimes wish were fiction. We do them all. So if you're into intriguing, dark, and scary tales, it's time to kick back, chill, and relax. If you're new here, welcome. Stay a bit, see if you like it. We'd love to have you. If you like and subscribe, it helps us so much. Also hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything and help us get this channel off the ground. Now, let's forget the world and get comfy.
Some houses don't just hold memories, they trap them. They remember everything. You can repaint the walls, fill the rooms with laughter, hang pictures on the walls, even pretend it's yours. But the house remembers what came before. And sometimes, make sure you remember too. That's exactly what happened to Stephen LaChance and his 3 children when they moved into a white house in Union, Missouri. What began as a fresh start became one of the most terrifying hauntings ever recorded. May 2001 had already begun as a grim month for Stephen LaChance. His wife's abrupt departure had left a gaping hole in the family. The small apartment they had called home for 2 years suddenly felt suffocating. Stephen, a corporate trainer by profession, had the means to move, but money couldn't replace the sense of security and normalcy that had been ripped away from his children. Union, Missouri offered the promise of a new beginning. Quiet streets, friendly neighbors, or so it seemed. Stephen pored over newspaper ads for weeks. Rejections, no replies, and dead ends became routine. Then came the call. A property management firm had a large, old white house on the market. "It's in excellent condition," said the woman on the line, though her voice held a strange, urgent tone. "It's perfect for a family." Sunday arrived, and Stephen brought his daughter to see the house. As they approached, it seemed almost too perfect. Wide porch, sprawling yard, a multi-story structure exuding timeless charm. Inside, faint aromas of baking cookies greeted them, though the kitchen was empty. Cherubs adorned the walls, polished woodwork gleamed. Upstairs, bedrooms were connected by a breezeway that made the house feel alive. The basement held a butcher's shower and a fruit cellar, a grim reminder of the home's age. Stephen didn't hesitate. He filled out the application immediately. The landlady's eyes lingered on him, assessing. "You understand the responsibility that comes with living in an old house like this?" she asked. Stephen nodded, unaware of the warning in her voice. Days later, the house was theirs. The move-in was filled with excitement and unease. As Stephen unloaded boxes, a car slowed at the curb. A passenger leaned out. "Hope you get along okay here," they said, then sped off. Stephen laughed nervously. Friendly neighbors? Perhaps, but the oddity lingered. The first night was deceptively quiet. By morning, Stephen noticed the interior doors had hook latches on the outside, as if to keep something in. He dismissed it, focusing on unpacking. Then came the first warning. Pictures fell from walls, lights flickered, cold drafts swept through hallways. In the basement, the youngest son screamed, claiming he had been chased by something big and black. And that's when they found the doll. It sat in the basement corner. Its dark glass eyes seemed alive, following every movement. No one had the nerve to get too close to it. It was scary. They decided to leave it right there and turned to go up the basement stairs. When they got back in the living area, the doll sat on the kitchen counter. staring at them. They froze. No one touched the doll. They left it downstairs. How did it get up there? After that, the doll took on a life of its own, appearing in random places around the house, always watching. At night, a static hum ran through the room, and whispers escaped its lips. First teasing, then steadily louder. Stephen caught it tilting its head on its own, grinning at him in an unnatural way. The glint of malevolence in its porcelain innocence, unmistakable. The following days blurred into nights of terror. Shadows stretched unnaturally, forming distorted humanoid shapes. Doors slammed violently. The black mist appeared, a massive, oppressive form with glowing red eyes. Wherever it went, a putrid smell of decay followed. Objects hurled themselves across rooms without warning. Temperature swings were extreme, accompanied by electrical charges running through the family's bodies. The doll's presence grew more sinister. At first, it whispered threats. Then it laughed. At night, Stephen would wake to see it in different locations than where he had left it. Sometimes atop furniture, sometimes in the children's beds. Its eyes glimmered with hatred, its smile widening unnaturally. The children began to refuse going near it. They tried to burn it, but it wouldn't burn. They smashed it in pieces, even tried dumping it miles and miles away, far across town on a barely used country road. But try as they might, the doll just reappear somewhere in the house, and then things would get even worse than before. So they gave up and accepted the fact that the doll wasn't going anywhere. Late one evening, as Stephen and the kids was watching TV in the living room, the mist appeared in the hallway, moving with terrifying purpose. The doll laughed. Shadows danced on walls in unnatural angles. The floorboards groaned as though the house itself were alive. Stephen felt a force pressing on his chest. In that moment, he knew they had to get away. Then, as if the house were aware of his thoughts, he got slammed against the wall with a force so great that small pieces of the wall paint fell to the floor, and he felt his feet leaving the ground, but couldn't tilt his head down to see what's happening. He was pinned. Slowly he got pushed up against the wall until there was only 2 inches between him and the ceiling. He couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't make a sound. Then total chaos broke out all around them. The children hurtled together, holding on to each other, screaming, crying, begging for it to stop. They didn't know what to do. And then, as they were standing like that, back to back, holding hands, breathing heavily, everything went silent. Whatever held Stephen up against that wall instantly let go, and he crashed to the floor, gasping for air, clutching his chest. Within a split second you could hear a pin drop, as if it was all in their heads. For a moment they were caught off guard. Stunned, they looked at each other to confirm that what they just experienced was real. Stephen was baffled. He felt powerless and confused, worrying for his children's safety but not really knowing what to do. Days passed. The hauntings escalated. Windows rattled violently. Doors slammed repeatedly. Objects flew across rooms without warning. Each night, the mist and the doll's influence intensified. The children huddled together in Stephen's room, trembling. "Leave, or stay forever," the doll whispered in voices not its own, over and over. Every night the same message. During one particularly violent night, The family attempted to flee, but the black mist blocked the exits, opening and slamming doors randomly. Every time they go through a door that's supposed to be an exit, another corridor appear. The walls seem to stretch, corridors bending impossibly. The doll's laughter pierced the air, and hundreds of disembodied screams echoed through the house. Stephen saw the porch glass door was not completely clipped in. Without a second thought, he grabbed the kids and pushed through it, the door slamming behind them. Only by sheer luck did they make it onto the porch. They bolted across the lawn and into their car, shaking, hearts pounding. Stephen stepped on the gas, and tires screeched as they spun away. Leaving the house in the review mirror, they never returned, left all their belongings just like that. Investigations revealed the house's violent past, proximity to a cemetery, Civil War-era remains, and a brutal axe murder across the street. Previous tenants fled in terror, some leaving belongings behind. Paranormal teams documented disembodied voices, inexplicable photographs, and evidence of demonic activity. The Catholic Church issued a 156-page report confirming the infestation. Locals refuse to walk past. They say the air grows thick and oppressive, as if unseen eyes follow them. The doll remains, a silent witness to the horrors within. The house, empty now, plastered with no trespassing signs, waits. Whatever lives inside the screaming house is still there, and it is furious.